All right, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us on today's edition, Thursday's edition of the program Morning, right? On Delta Television, the People's Pride. Today is the 27th day in this wonderful month of November. We just have 3 days to say goodbye to November and welcome to December. And one exciting thing about December is the carols, the music, and of course the Christmas songs. I love them a lot. Maybe because I'm a chorister myself. But talking about music and carols and hymns, today is the DBS 2025 Festival of Night Lessons and Carols, holding at Emmanuel the Savior Catholic Church, GRA, yes, Asaba GRA here in Delta State. And it's going to be an amazing time because, of course, the DBS Celebrity Choir will be hosting, yes, this year's edition. And that choir, of course, is not just DBS staff, it's an interdenominational church choir. So what it means is that anybody can join so long as you can sing. All right, and I will also be expecting the choir from the Zappa Church, and of course the host church there, talking about the Emmanuel the Savior Catholic Church choir. They will also be ministering as, not just that, we'll have solo performances there and a saxophonist as well. It's going to be a wonderful time, praise and worship. We're starting with red carpet. Yes, at 3:30, red carpet section. Trust DVS brand when it comes to quality and exceptional service delivery. And it's going to be a wonderful event today. So if you can, if you have been invited, why not? Don't miss it for anything. I promise that it's going to be amazing. And today promises, like I said, a wonderful time on your television because we have lined up interesting programs for your viewing pleasure. Talking about that, immediately after now, we'll be taking a break to bring you newspaper headlines, and that will be reviewed or analyzed by our analyst, Mr. Bonnie Akeze. And we also will be expecting our interviews, Kana or Spot. We're going to be interviewing Dr. Awana, the President's Federated Union of Community Newspapers Publishers. And the topic today will be the role of community newspapers publishers in shaping governance. And hopefully, we'll have a feature on the rich cultural heritage of a particular tribe. Yes, let me not let it cut out of the bag yet. But interestingly, we'll also be talking about what is happening today. Today is Thanksgiving Day. When we talk about Thanksgiving, yes, we know that in Nigeria, churches have been doing the harvest, Thanksgiving. So, but traditionally, that Thanksgiving started in this particular one is for the Americans. Yes, it's an holiday born in the 1500s and of course observed during the bleakest hours of the Civil War, and now stands as one of the nation's most anticipated and beloved days. It is celebrated each year on the fourth Thursday in November 2027, or rather today is the 27th of November 2025, and perhaps no other non-sectarian holiday has more tradition. Here, talking about Thanksgiving now, family, friends, food, and football have come to symbolize the Thanksgiving, a rare celebratory holiday without an established gift-giving component. Instead, the day urges all of us to be grateful for things we do have and looking forward to things to come. So today is Thanksgiving Day, and the Americans are the ones celebrating this day And the story doesn't necessarily start with pilgrims. Evidence shows that Spanish explorers and settlers held Thanksgiving services during the late 50s in what is now Florida and New Mexico. Thanksgivings also took place in what became the Commonwealth of Virginia as early as 1607, excuse me, with the first permanent settlement of Jamestown holding a Thanksgiving. And of course, there are so many things to learn about this Thanksgiving, but I'd like to remind us about the timeline. Excuse me. The Americans and other people, other countries that are also observing today as Thanksgiving. First Thanksgiving started in 1565. The religious scholars argue that Catholic Spanish explorers held a mass of Thanksgiving in St. Augustine, Florida, the oldest settlement in the U.S. Now, the Pilgrim Feast, the Plymouth colonies, they have the revolutionary idea, the wartime celebration as well. And it's a tradition, like I said. There are so many things that you can do for Americans who are in Nigeria. You can volunteer, you can bake anything, you can cook. You can just, they have their way of doing the cookings, the turkey, big turkey. When they want to make chicken, everything is big there. And you can start to take our tradition. There's 5 amazing facts about Thanksgiving, and that is 4 towns named Turkey. In the United States, 4 different towns in Arizona, Texas, North Carolina, and Louisiana are named Turkey. Okay, now a lot of calories are consumed. Today is the day that they eat and eat and eat. Yes, so the average number of calories consumed during Thanksgiving festivities amounts to 4,500. Okay, just for a day. You can celebrate Thanksgiving 17th century style. If you want to experience Thanksgiving like it was back in the 60s, Mass is still more or less the same as it was back then. Tickets for celebrating Thanksgiving are purchased months in advance. The first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in the early 1920s didn't have any giant floats or balloons. Now, the last fact that you need to know about Thanksgiving Day is that it has 46 million turkeys. Americans prepare an estimated 46 million turkeys for Thanksgiving feast every year. So they don't even do chicken. I mentioned chicken earlier, they don't. It's turkey. So any American that you see today, in fact, if you know any American staying here in Asaba, anywhere, just tell them that you're coming to take or eat turkey, because you cannot expect anything but turkey. Yes, that's their thing. All right. So why do they love Thanksgiving? Why do they love Thanksgiving? Number one, the food. Traditional Thanksgiving dinner generally include turkey, mashed potatoes with gravy, buttered vegetables, warm pumpkin, a lot of food to eat. No wonder they consume a lot of calories as well. Now, family and friends. Thanksgiving is a time when friends and family gather to express gratitude. For some people, it is an occasion to be with family you don't see often. For others, it is time to get all your friends, the Friendsgiving, together for food and for fun. And the last thing is that it's a 4-day weekend. The Americans look forward to the extended holiday weekend right around the time Halloween ends. Now, the Thanksgiving Day starts a mini work or school vacation that also includes Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. So the thing is that everything you sometimes that is replicated here in Nigeria, everybody's talking about Black Friday. I don't want to mention brands or malls or in fact, the popular malls or shopping malls that they're having their Black Fridays today. So what it means is that you can buy something. Yes, that thing will be cheaper. Maybe something that you're used to buying for 10,000 naira, they can slash the price to maybe 8,000 or less. So that's the Black Friday that started from Thanksgiving Day, right? So today is Black Friday. So watch out for that. If you want to buy maybe a bag of rice, you can just look out, Google, and check the people doing Black Friday, the shopping malls or the stores or I don't think market women want to do Black Friday, but all those big malls and shopping malls and stores, you can just go there and get things at discounted prices. And they always say that it is not expired. They are just doing it because it is Black Friday. And this originated from, the Americans, Black Friday, the Thanksgiving, and Friday, in the 3 days mapped out for this event. All right, that's what today is celebrated as. A lot of other activities going on simultaneously today, 27th of November 2025, and also on Monday, a music icon and maestro passed. That is Jimmy Cliff. You know him. He's a popular. In fact, if you hear his songs, you would doubt that he's a Jamaican. I'm sorry, but the way he sings, you would think that he's from America or even, yes, but he's a Jamaican, he's an African. And that's one interesting thing about him. And it passed, well, not underage, at least it passed at a ripe age, if you may want to think about that. And from here we're saying that he shall find rest in the Lord. But one thing I like about that man is that his music his legacy still lives on, just like the likes of Bob Marley, Michael Jackson, and the likes. The legacy lives on. So for you living, what would you be remembered for? And that's a question and our curtain raiser this morning on Thursday's edition of Morning Ride. My name is Ifi Osito Olonwa. On behalf of the crew, we're saying thank you so much for joining us. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The African rosewood, locally known as oha, is a leaf used predominantly in preparing oha soup. It originated from the southeast region of Nigeria, where communities relied on local produce and herbs to create flavorful and nutritious dishes. The oha leaf, known for its mild and aromatic flavor, is plucked fresh and used within hours to retain its tender texture. Unlike other soups that use common vegetables, oha's unique leaf makes it a special meal served with pride during family feasts and cultural celebrations. Cooking begins with boiling assorted meats, tripe, and stockfish until tender. Palm oil is added to the broth, followed by ground crayfish, pepper, and traditional seasonings such as ogiri for flavor. Cocoyam paste is then stirred in as a thickener, creating a smooth and rich consistency. The fresh oha leaves are added last to preserve their delicate texture and nutrients. The result is a velvety aromatic soup enjoyed with pounded yam, fufu, eba, or semovita. While oha soup is primarily associated with the Igbo people, its popularity has spread across Nigeria with variations in spice levels and ingredients. Some households add the West African pepper leaf, known locally as uziza, for a hint of heat and aroma, while others prefer the classic mild and savory taste.
Garnish oha soup with so many things like okporoko, like dry fish, especially that leaf. That leaf alone is what I prefer in oha soup. Well, to me, I like oha soup well. At least when I eat oha soup with akpu, I enjoy and well.
Nutritionally, oha soup is packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. The oha leaf is rich in iron and calcium, which helps strengthen bones and support blood health. Cocoyam adds healthy carbohydrates and fiber, while meat and fish supply essential proteins, making the meal both wholesome and satisfying.
Oha soup, if you want to eat oha soup now, you can use akpu, you can use semo, you can use anything. But if you want to get the taste of oha soup, use semo or use akpu.
Like the ingredients, we go for local. You use locust bean. You use good soaked fish, good dry fish. Then you go for cow head or any other good protein.
Oha soup remains more than just a dish. It is a cultural treasure, a blend of heritage, health, and heart. Every bowl tells a story of home, reminding us that the best flavors are those rooted in tradition and shared with love. Favor Okafor reporting.
The joy of Christmas is in the air. We, the board, management and staff of Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS Asaba, warmly invite you to our festival of 9 lessons and carols.
An enchanting evening of festive hymns, soul-lifting music, drama, and warm cheer as we gather to celebrate the true gift of Christmas.
Join us as the prestigious DBS Asaba Celebratory Choir, alongside other choirs and guest music ministers, bring you timeless carols, heartwarming messages, and the spirit of the season.
Expect a magical blend of music, reflection, and joy that will uplift your heart and renew the hope of Christmas.
Come dressed in your best as we reflect on the season and spread the joy of Christmas.
Date, Thursday, 27th November 2025.
Venue, Emmanuel the Savior Catholic Church, GRA Asaba. Time, 4 p.m.
DBS Asaba Festival of 9 Lessons and Carols.
Come, let's make memories and amplify the joy of Christmas together. Signed, Management.
Dates grow on the date palm tree, commonly found in tropical and desert regions. For centuries, they have served as a vital source of nourishment across different cultures, valued not only for their sweetness but also for their powerful health-promoting properties. Rich in natural sugars such as glucose, fructose, and sucrose, dates provide an instant energy boost, making them ideal for athletes and people who seek strength, including those observing fast. They are also packed with fiber, potassium, calcium, iron, and magnesium, which help maintain strong bones, good digestion, and stable blood pressure. The fiber content in dates promotes a healthy digestive system, prevents constipation, and helps cleanse the body of toxins. These antioxidants, including flavonoids and phenolic acids, protect cells from damage, reduce inflammation, and strengthen the immune system. Nutrition experts say dates can be enjoyed in several forms: eaten fresh, dried, or blended into smoothies. They also serve as natural sweeteners in baking and desserts, offering a healthier alternative to refined sugar without compromising taste. For women, dates are particularly beneficial during pregnancy as they help strengthen uterine muscles and provide energy during childbirth. For men, they are known to enhance stamina and support overall vitality. In addition, dates help maintain heart health by reducing bad cholesterol levels, while their iron content supports the production of red blood cells and helps prevent anemia. They also aid brain function, improving memory, and protecting against cognitive decline.
It aids digestion. Whenever I'm constipated, I take it and it makes me feel much better, and it also helps me sleep at night.
Indeed, dates remain one of nature's finest gifts, sweet to taste, rich in energy, and full of healing power. A daily serving not only satisfies the taste buds, but also nourishes the body, providing the true sweetness that comes naturally. Favor Okafor reporting.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
From the tropical rainforests of Southeast Asia to the vibrant markets of Africa and the Americas, one fruit has captured the hearts, taste buds, and economies of people across the globe: the banana. Sweet, nourishing, and versatile, is far more than just a snack. It is nature's golden gift. Bananas have a history that stretches back thousands of years. Believed to have originated in Southeast Asia, they spread through ancient trade routes to Africa, the Middle East, and later to the Americas. Today, the banana is the fourth most important food crop in the world, feeding millions each day and uniting cultures across continents. There are hundreds of varieties of banana, each with its own unique size, color, and taste. The Cavendish is the most common worldwide, while plantains, firmer and starchier, are a staple in African and Caribbean cuisines. Red bananas, ladyfingers, and other local varieties enrich diets with diversity and flavor. But beyond taste, bananas are a powerhouse of nutrition. A medium-sized banana carries just about 105 calories, yet it is packed with 27 grams of carbohydrates for energy, 3 grams of fiber for healthy digestion, and a wealth of potassium and minerals. Potassium, vitamin B6, and vitamin C stand out, helping to regulate heart function, boost immunity, and maintain the body's balance. The health benefits of bananas are remarkable. They strengthen the heart, stabilize blood pressure, and provide quick recovery for athletes and workers alike. They contain tryptophan, which the body converts into serotonin, the hormone that lifts our mood. Gentle on the stomach, bananas ease digestion, soothe ulcers, and help in recovery from illness.
Banana is rich in nutrients like vitamin B6, it has vitamin C, it has potassium, and it has fiber. So banana supports heart growth because it helps to regulate the blood pressure. So we can encourage those who have hypertension to add a little bit of banana to their diet to help regulate their blood pressure. And because it has fiber too, it can equally, because it has pectin, there's something in that fiber, pectin, that it contains, so it can help promote gut health. In promoting gut health, it can equally help with people that has constipation. We equally know because it has carbohydrates, it provides energy. Sometimes you find that when you take banana, there is a feeling of you feel full just because you took banana. So that's because it provides quick energy. Then banana is good for those that have dementia because it helps to stabilize mood and brain health. You find out that some people that have dementia, their mood is always very bad. In fact, it's encouraged that when you manage depression, sometimes it's good to add banana to their diet because the banana helps to reduce depression. In summary, banana is a fruit. It contains carbohydrates. It's good for mood. So people that are depressed, we are encouraged to take banana. It's good for heart health. So those that have hypertension, you are encouraged to take banana. Those that have weight issues, you are encouraged to take banana. Then those that maybe you have high calorie, you don't want to consume foods that will increase your calorie the more, we equally encourage you to take banana.
Banana is very rich in all the vitamins. The vitamin A, the water-soluble vitamins, is equally they have certain amount of vitamin A's and the vitamin E. And one other benefit of the banana is that it's very rich in potassium. especially for the adults, especially for those that are supposed to be on low sodium. Yes, as the person is reducing the sodium, the person needs to build up the potassium level, and that's where the banana does a very significant work, because it's very low in sodium, and we know the side effects or the complication of too much intake of sodium. High blood pressure. The blood pressure will begin to be at elevated level, but because banana is very low in it and is very high in potassium, we always say it's very cardioprotective. Yes, it protects the heart. And the fiber in it, because fiber is very good for bowel evacuation, for prevention of constipation. It helps to stabilize the GIT, the gastric chamber, so that at the time you want to evacuate your bowel, you evacuate it because of the fiber. And the fiber helps equally to protect the body against some free radicals, because some of the healthy microorganisms help to break down those fiber, in a useful way. So, and the other properties that they contain, the carbohydrate, the simple sugars that they contain, is equally of healthy benefits to us. And one other thing that banana has is what we call butyric acid. Butyric acid is very good for the GIT, especially for some people that might having maybe GIT disorder like diarrhea. Once they take the banana, because of the butyric acid content, it helps in controlling and in quenching the diarrhea and in controlling the GIT, because it has a protective effect on the GIT, and it helps to fight against the microorganisms that are causing the diarrhea. So by and large, the banana is very rich source of all the nutrients that we need.
Truly, each bite is a gift of health. Yet, bananas are not only a fruit, they are a story of cultivation. Thriving in tropical climates, the banana plant matures within 9 to 12 months. Each plant produces a single large flower cluster, which develops into a heavy bunch of fruits. After harvest, the plant dies, making way for new shoots to rise, continuing the cycle of growth and abundance. Economically, bananas play a vital role. Nations like India, the Philippines, Ecuador, and Nigeria depend on banana cultivation not just for food, but for trade and livelihood. Bananas are among the world's most exported fruits, creating income and employment for millions of farmers and traders. For many households, bananas are both a meal and a means of survival. But the story of the bananas goes even further. Its leaves serve as natural plates and wrappers, especially in traditional African and Asian meals. The fibers from its stem are woven into ropes, mats, and even clothing. The peel, often discarded, becomes compost or food for animals, ensuring that no part of the plant goes to waste. The banana is therefore more than just a fruit. It is food, medicine, culture, economy, and sustainability woven together. It connects farmers in the tropics with families thousands of miles away. It supports the body, sustains communities, and reminds us of the incredible generosity of nature. Bananas are indeed the golden fruits of the earth, humble, nourishing, and universal. Wherever they are found, they tell a story of resilience, abundance, and the simple joys of life.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman.
back to the studio, and joining us this morning, I have Bonnie Akeze. Good morning to you, Prof.
Good morning, sis.
Yes, welcome. So we're going to be looking at the papers, but it's not the usual way we do it. We're really, reading out all the front pages of the headlines this morning, or headlines of our papers this morning. We'll just take it one after the other. And first is the Nation newspaper. We're going to look at the headlines now and then give analysis almost immediately. All right, so on the Nation newspaper, emergency on security. Tinubu okay state police. National Assembly to amend law. Military police to recruit more men. Senate passes resolution for citizens to own firearms. Don't pull Kebbi girls out of school. Pupils reunite with families. Dangote Group signs fertilizer expansion deals. And $22 million undeclared cash seized at airport in 6 months. Wow. Picture here we have Southern governors outline security plan for zone. And SDSS DG ex-NAI boss envoy tipped as ambassador. The route to Papiri where pupils were abducted, Papiri, and we also have it on the bottom strip, federal government's 50 billion naira seed fund for agri. All right, let's talk about the emergency on security. Tinubu okay state police. You know, we've been agitating, they have been agitating for state policing before now, and I don't know, it's been treated with a kid glove, but now it is really an emergency in our country. The way people, I'm even saddened, I'm sad when people make content with what is happening, because it's not even funny. It's been back-to-back kidnapping and abduction. They've gone on an abduction spree, and sometimes they even come out on social media to even say, oh, we have our next point of call, it's to state, it's to school, and we don't even know which is real, whether they are for real or the people are just making content right now. But the main thing now is that there is an emergency. There's emergency on security, and that Mr. President has okayed the state policing that they have been agitating for, the states have been agitating for. And the National Assembly is to amend the law, military police to recruit more men. Earlier they said they should recruit, I think, 30,000, but now they have increased it to 50,000 policemen, military, security personnel, military and police. Yes, and another interesting thing about this security is that the Senate passes resolution for citizens to own firearms. So before now, you can't. If they see you with a firearm, it's illegal. But now they want to legalize it. But the question is it going to be for all citizens or the highest bidder? So let's take it from the emergency on security, Mr. President saying yes to state policing.
Okay. Of course, there is no issue more on the front burner probably discussed in Nigeria today other than our security situation, especially in the aftermath of the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern by the American government. So a lot of things has happened. You see, what you reeled out, they are a kind of reactive responses to the situation on ground. And we need to see how far we're going to go about it. Number one, the president's okaying
state policing.
It's a statement. At this moment, every statement that should be coming from the government is the statements that will douse tension and give hope. State policing is not going to be decreed by like subsidies gone. State policing is a thing that will have to go through constitutional amendment. You know, so the only thing the president can do now is he has the advantage of parliamentary majority. I mean, the state, the party has a majority in both the House of Reps and the states. The party has overwhelming majority in the terms of the state. So when the constitutional at the parliament, at the Congress, National Assembly, his party stand a chance of winning everything that they want to win by vote of members. Then in the states, because more states are now under the APC, you know, can work with the governors to get their House of Assembly members to cooperate to. So those are the constitutional hurdles are going to pass through. So
just before we talk about the firearms, what is state policing? State policing refers to a system where each state in the country has the power to establish and control its own police force. Instead of having only central or federal police, states are allowed to run their own independent security agencies. Now, the key features: state-owned and controlled. One, that's the governor and the state have authority over the police. The local recruitment officers are usually recruited from the state, so they know every crannies of each community. So they understand the local language, the culture, and the terrain. Now, faster response. Security issues can be handled more quickly since decisions are made within the state. Tailored strategies. Each state can design security policies that fit its unique challenges. The advantage here now is that better community policing, reduced crime through local intelligence, quicker response to emergencies, great jobs within the state. But the concern: risk of political misuse by state governors, funding challenges for poorer states, possible conflict between federal and state police, need for strict laws to prevent abuse. Just like they are saying that Mr. President has directed that, you know, the police security personnel deployed to VIPs should, you know, be recalled so that they can join others, you know. So, I mean, I know that there are advantages, but the concerns raised, is that going to be an issue?
Okay, yeah, you know, it's always good to look at things from, you know, all angles, you know, and give them broad-based understanding. So, yes, when you are dealing with political issues, you try to be practical. So you address the lived experience. What has happened? What is the tragedy? What is the outlook of the polity? You are making laws for addressing politics, because what are policies? What are laws? There are issues meant to check, you know, to censor behavior, to protect the citizens, you know, in order to order society in ethical and civilized manner. So the fears are real. But like people will say, do we say because people die in air crashes, so people should not fly again? Or that because people die by most road accident, people should not drive again.
Or water, somebody was drowned.
People should not drink water again. So that is the role of government, to try and balance, you know, balance the whole thing. That is where the government is the ombudsman that beats everybody to line. So how do we balance this thing with our lived experience? where there is no limit to the exercise of political power. That is where yes, a country with with the size of Nigeria, which is almost an empire, it is difficult to police it centrally. So, and because we call ourselves a federal republic, of course, federalism entails decentralization and devolution and decentralization of power, you know. So it means you have a national and subnational government, which one, the subnationals are not inferior. They are components units, they are coordinate units. But here we treat them the other way around. So Nigeria has been running a parliamentary system, but wearing the cloak of a federal system. So, and these are, and you know that what has been very difficult to do go down memory lane. Every government, every administration has come with very robust and well-crafted economic policies. But why do those policies fail? There are no corresponding political environment for those economic policies to thrive. Okay. Because economic policies work, all other things being equal.
Okay, so there should be a balance.
There should be a balance. So,
but it's a welcome development.
Yeah, of course, it's a step forward.
And it should not be just word of mouth.
Let
there be action.
Exactly.
Supporting it. All right, moving on away from the nation. Now let's look at the New Telegraph. Major headline here reads, Tinubu declares security emergency, orders more recruitment into armed forces. Total of 50,000 policemen to be enlisted. Others forest gas deployment by DSS. And of course, warns security agencies against compromise, collusion, and negligence. Approves use of NYSC camps as training depot. Urges National Assembly to expedite legislative processes for state police creation. State Senate probes withdrawal of soldiers from Kebbi School before kidnap incident. At St. Mary's School attack, 2 parents die of heart attack. Oh my world. Security, a constitutional, moral, sacred duty. Can ask federal government to protect Nigerians. And capital budget, federal government begins subtle funds disbursement. And units, Nigeria records 55% drop in condom distribution. Okay. Tinubu against, or rather appoint non-career ambassadors for US, UK front. And Boko Haram members found on army list, says Wasi. Wow. Boko Haram members found on army list, says Wasi. Expert advocates strong alcohol policy to save children's safeguard nation's future. And another coup rocks Guinea-Bissau electoral processes suspended. All right. Okay, we have a picture here. Governor presenting the 2025 budget proposal before the Delta State House of Assembly in Asaba, in Delta State. All right, so yeah, that's the picture on the New Telegraph. But let's talk about, of course, the Tinubu declaring President Tinubu declaring a state of, or rather, security emergency, and others more recruitment into armed forces. A total of 50,000. Mr. Boniface, a total of 50,000 policemen to be enlisted. Is that too much?
Yeah, the authorities have said that these security agencies, they lack adequate manpower.
Is it manpower that they lack, or the tools?
So we're coming
or both?
So what I'm saying, we are talking about. That's why I say these things are reactive measures.
Okay.
Of course, if you if they do the recruitment now, today, they are going to go for training. When they come back from training, before they will be deployed.
Yes.
So this is not what is going to yield the result between now and next month. You know, or even in 6 months' time.
Wow.
So I can call it part of the medium and long-term solution. So what do we do in the immediate? Part of what we do should be done in the immediate is President has directed that they would draw police personnel on
From
private
VIPs,
duties.
private, yes.
It is a way to mop up manpower to put in the field. So they are all efforts by the government. But I think the ultimate is going to be this, the industrialization of the police. Let us, we are not reinventing any wheel. Classically, America is a presidential, a federal system that you can look at. You have the FBI dealing with its own issues of federal laws and jurisdictions. But every police, every state have their own police. Even every local government. Take for example, you have the New York City Police. The New York City is like a local government. You have the New York police, that is the state of New York. You know, they have their own police. Before they have, so, and these police, different layers of police organization, they have their jurisdictions. Local government police has to do enforce local government bylaws. That is their jurisdiction. The state police has to enforce the state-made laws. Why the federal police deals with federal issues. That is how it works. Unfortunately, when people have a land dispute in a remote village, perhaps in Delta State or in Delta State here, the guy who has upper hand may decide to even bypass the police in Asaba, in the Delta Period, and go to Zone 5.
Zone 5.
And the one who can even go straight to
Abuja.
Abuja. You see people coming from Abuja
Right.
just to come and deal with the local issues.
Okay, so but
It's-
let's talk
I mean,
about
that is
let's
not
talk
the way
about
to
the
go.
police welfare because yes, it is important. We need manpower,
Mm.
but their welfare, if something is not done about it, because nobody, as it is, everybody needs a job, but most youth, Nigerian youth, they don't want to join the police force, especially because of their welfare, the poor remuneration and the
That is-
welfare.
That
So
I was,
do you not think that they should start giving it a
I was
boost
coming.
and make it attractive?
I was coming there. I was coming there, you know, because it's not enough to just recruit. Whom are you recruiting? Who is
Exactly.
available?
Who wants to? Is it
Before-
a mandatory job?
Before we got to where we are now, with our public schools, primary and secondary school, I read one article that was in the 80s when they completely ridiculed the teaching profession. I read an article in a newspaper. Was it Concord newspaper? One of these. I was in secondary school. That I just finished secondary. The title was "Who Wants to Be a Teacher?" That was the title of that article the journalist wrote. And after reading, I just finished secondary, and my secondary school education was a teacher training college, St. Thomas's College, Buso. After reading that article, I made up my mind I was not going to continue with the teaching profession. because that article was like what opened my eyes in the future that awaits me if I go into and continue with the teaching profession. You know.
So from
because
that time to now.
That article analyzed how the teaching profession has been ridiculed and what is going to be its implication for Nigeria.
But that was
it was such an apocalyptic.
Before the
it was an
regime.
apocalyptic write-up, but it showed you, and like the guy, the analysis in that. I said this thing happened. That was 1985. Right. I read that article in 1985. It was 1985, 1986, and everything that article, all the analysis and everything said, all has come to pass. Where is the place of our public primary and secondary schools today? What happened? Because the teaching profession was ridiculed, so nobody want to be a teacher.
So that's what's happening.
So now, who want to be a policeman?
They'd rather be an army officer.
Who want to even be an army recruit?
Oh, recruit.
I was listening to a radio program, that's the DBS radio. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? And somebody was saying it is well. When they are not telling us, calling us to come and
join the army.
Join the army as a recruit and police. When they were recruiting to CBN, they didn't tell us. When last did you hear that there's a competitive exam for recruitment to the CBN? When last did you hear there was competitive exam, recruitment selection for intakes into the customs?
They don't need power.
They share it among themselves.
They don't need manpower.
And the citizens are becoming conscious of these things. The other time they did recruitment, there was regions of this country, states of this country that people did not come forward to fill their quota.
But the truth still remains that we need people to sign up.
That is,
because we need men.
On this set last year, when we talked about education, I said it that we are joking in this country. Those children that you are sending to the hybrid schools, those high grade schools, because you have the money, you have already separated them from the commoners. They are going. You are preparing them for other economies because they will leave. In fact, it's a status symbol in Nigeria that you are in Nigeria, but all your family, your children are in Europe and America.
Right.
At the end of the day, your rank and file of the police, of the army, they are still going to come from these children that you have neglected to give quality education. And you are going to get exactly the type of training you give them. You see, so it is a matter of progressive inbreeding. Every human being will reproduce the process that socializes him or her. So if it's a process that is not ethical, has no respect for norms, is a system of anything good, you are going to reproduce it in your character and conduct. That is the country we are building. So at the end of the day, this recruitment, who are the people who are going into the security job is not just for anybody.
I agree.
It's not just for anybody. You should have
passion for it first.
Was it Okiro or late Arese, one of the chairman of the Police Service Commission, who was a former IGP, once said that over 30 or 40% of the people who enter the police at a certain age enter with other people's certificates and somebody who is going to enforce the law as a critical as an election.
All right.
So you're who are these personnel?
All right.
Are going to recruit? So we have so much job to do.
No problem. All
we
right.
have so much job to do.
Okay, moving on, let's take a look at the Daily Sun this morning. And the major headline here still says, Tinubu OK's massive military and police recruitment, declares emergency in security. And state police non-negotiable, and 6 southern governors. Senate demands security team rejig tougher actions. And we have tension in Guinea-Bissau as military takes over power, detains president. Kebbi schoolgirls not molested by terrorists, says government. We identified Magiga Forest as location theater commander. Edo government urges residents not to panic over security threat. Wike vows strict action against unauthorized school closure in FCT. I do not understand why someone would vow to take strict action against unauthorized school closure in FCT. With what is happening, the insecurity that is sadly raving, especially in schools, abduction of school children. Anybody can be scared to say, you know what, it's better. I heard yesterday that they want to introduce online school, lesson for children.
The concern we should be raising is, why is it that our FCT minister, that his voices, his statements, everything are always combative? That is the concern.
And not solution driven.
So why is it always combative? Why is it always harsh and this is not the time for this type of rhetoric. If somebody runs, okay, for example, like private schools, whom you may not be able to provide security for, and they think that instead of putting the children at risk, agrees with the parents. Every school has a parents-teachers forum to close down the school for the meantime.
Should be welcome.
I mean, would you just? So what we should be saying that the minister should be having a roundtable, stakeholder roundtable, in Abuja, to ensure that schools are under safety. They are well protected, and they have assurances not to panic. It's not enough to come to TV to be compared to send incendiary messages and threats, but the reality, they live the reality on ground, is a different thing.
All right, away from that, now let's look at the Daily Independent. Tinubu talks tough, declares national security emergency. A writer to that story orders army, police to recruit more personnel. Ask headers to end open grazing, surrender weapons. National Assembly to review laws for establishment of state police. The President nominates ambassadors for US, UK, and France. Don't assign our case to Omotosho, Lifu. Abdul Malik, PDP tells CJ. Tinubu's administration expanding banditry economy. ADC. Under Tinubu, terrorist bandits have become alternative government, says Atiku. Oh wow, the backlash is coming. AFDB OK's $50 million loan for Nigeria's energy transition program. Guinea-Bissau rocked by coup d'etat, suspension of electoral process. Senate probes withdrawal of troops before Kebbi abduction. Considers reviewing firearm laws to allow citizens own guns. To investigate circumstances surrounding killing of Brigadier General Uba. Proposes death penalty for kidnappers. Classifies it as terrorism. Lawmakers say Nigeria at war, asks federal government to show leadership. And rising cost, multinational dominance threaten Nigeria's hatchery. Boko Haram members found on army and police enlistment list, says Rep. Okay, two stories that we're going to talk about. The Boko Haram members found on army police enlistment list, and of course, to investigate circumstance. Not okay. The Senate is considering reviewing firearm laws to allow citizens own guns. Two stories quickly from the Daily Independent.
Okay, the first one is okay. The first one is what?
Boko Haram
Boko,
members.
yes, found in
found on the list.
See, this Boko Haram thing has been with us. What is surprising to me is that in the midst of all this conversation, gossips, and propagandas, the government has refused. The government has refused to. The government has refused to call a public hearing. I think that it is very, very important that amid all this, it's not the issue of just isn't a statement. They should call a commission that we conduct a public hearing, something like the Oputa panel, for Nigerians to come and talk about security. Let people come and talk what they know.
But enlisting the Boko Haram members
yes,
on army and police enlistment list.
Listen, we have heard all this type of talks before now. We have heard that there's the submitted list of the sponsors.
And then you hear repentant Boko Haram. Is there something like that?
So we need to have a public hearing on all this. Adams of Shomole, Senator Adams of Shomole, spoke on the floor of the Senate. Have a list of retired generals who are funding banditry, who are doing illegal mining, who of what spoke about. Nothing has come out of it. So this one is not just new. We have heard all the, so what is the government approach to dealing with it? My own suggestion is that we should call a public hearing.
Okay.
We should call, set up a public hearing where Nigerians will come and discuss. And let people come and say what they know. Let facts be put to test, so that we know we're good. Then the issue of
considering reviewing firearm laws to allow citizens own guns.
Yes.
Is it a welcome?
There has been a level of private weapon bearing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, the licensed citizens. There are conditions for citizens to bear firearms. And the laws stipulate the caliber of firearms that citizens should bear. Okay. There are lethal weapons that are only exclusive of the government. That's the military and security agencies. So that's why you saw the caption. There's to review because there's an existing one. Okay. So it is the content of the review and the extent of the review that Nigerians would like to know. Because that is what is going to be the determinant, of is it speaking to the security challenges, or is just one of those things to just keep us?
I think self-defense.
So that's what I'm saying.
The abuse is inevitable.
Then the other issue that is very important too, like the listening, there's need to probe the incident that shortly after the military withdrew. The bandits struck at the girls' secondary school in Kebbi. What that the inferential next thing there is that there's a nexus between the withdrawal and the attack. So that is why a probe into the incident is happening. Because perhaps there is somebody there's a few columnist that was able to let the bandits know that at such time the military guys will withdraw, and immediately they withdraw, they struck.
Well, in every disciple there's always a Judas.
You know,
it can be.
I remember
allegedly.
I remember the time when they were talking about the issue of the assassination of the then Attorney General of the Federation, Chibola Ige. How they came from Lagos with his aides and Ibadan. On arrival in Ibadan, it was then his security details decided to go and eat or do something that the assailants struck. So why did it mean that they were there with them? How long did it take between the time the people left, his security detail left, that these guys were able to gain access? You know, those kind of questions. So that is what this thing is looking like, or that is a similar scenario. And every serious government, because it is something that's supposed to give government a leeway into tracking down the enablers, the collaborators of these bandits and the insurgents. So I just hope they are going to, the National Assembly, House of Rep and Senate committees on security, national security, should not wait for the executive arm of government. They should carry on their own independent probe into what happened.
All right. Okay, let's take a look at the Daily Trust this morning. Release, rescued or ransomed. That is what is trending. We're going to talk about that. And President Embalo arrested as military stages coup in Guinea-Bissau. Police withdrawal from VIPs. Our lives are in danger, says lawmakers. Oh, wow. President declares emergency on insecurity. Orders more sea recruitment into police and army. Tinubu appoints former security chiefs, diplomats as ambassadors. And Charles Cobbs exhumed stolen in Yobe. Freed Kebbi schoolgirl speaks on 8 days with bandits. Police hunt for suspect after discovery of ammunition in Zaria. All right, let's talk about this release, rescued or ransomed. It's a question that many Nigerians, in fact, the word that was trending since on Monday was this non-kinetic, kinetic and non-kinetic. And people are saying, are the girls or the abductors, the abductees rather, were they released or rescued or ransomed? I mean, these three words are different. So the question is, but some people are saying it doesn't matter. What matters is that they are back and they are freed. But I think that it matters because people need to know that, if they are rescued or ransomed, how much was paid. I know that on another hand, they say that they don't usually tell the public how much that was paid, just not to encourage the abductees, the abductors rather. So let's talk about that. Release, is that supposed to be a problem?
Okay. Number one, let's put ourselves in the place of the parents and family members of those children. Surely we're not going to ask those questions. Ransomed, rescued, or whatever.
Or released.
So what will matter to us is that the children are back, first and foremost. But at the level of government that want to solve the problem and solve it permanently, those questions are relevant. So, first of all, let's appreciate the government for whatever means or whatever method or whatever approach they use to get the children back. But like we always say in policy making, that policy making requires the second order thinking, what they call the second order thinking. Second order thinking is this thinking that gives consideration beyond the surface, beyond the ordinary, and look at counterfactual situations. You know, the essence is to avoid unintended outcomes that would be even more calamitous than the problem solution.
The problem itself.
Our people, they say, the adage in the Igbo adage, that instead of by trying to amend the dislocated limb of a chicken, you fracture it. You better leave it at the dislocation. You know, so
it's inconsequential.
so that
whether it's rescued.
So
or
we are to at the surface level to talk about return of the girls. It is immaterial.
Okay.
But at the deeper level of solving the insecurity issue that we have come to, it is important. So that the process by which we got these children back will not become a fuel for even future. Because if the approach is absolutely commoditization of the process, then you have now confirmed to them that this is a business.
okay.
Because I listened to news, somebody was asking a guest on China's television, Channel or Arise. He was saying that immediately those girls were returned, there's another location, another 11 students were adopted.
Yes.
And negotiations are now going on for.
I wanted to mention too that the CAC worshippers have also been whether released or freed or what. Bottom line is that they are back home.
So it was the CAC people. The guy was saying just as they were just coming back home, another 11 people were. And
there's
adopted.
also something also happened in Kwara
let it not
State.
become a visual circle. So that is where I said at that level, yes, at the level of the families and it's immaterial. But at the deeper level of policy making,
I think we should leave that for security personnel
it is important that you look at those questions.
Yes. All right. So moving away from the Daily Trust, let's look at. I think we'll just look at the Guardian newspaper now. Tinubu declares emergency on insecurity.
It is everywhere.
It's everywhere. Backs government on state police. We have here lawmakers declare security collapse, seek death penalty for kidnappers. ADC negotiating with terrorists defies sustainable fight against insurgents. DMO raises 1.03 trillion naira from T-bills. Market shifts to short tenor instrument. We also have here, that's basically what's happening. Now let's talk about the lawmakers declaring security collapse and the seek death penalty for kidnappers. Do you not think, when a kidnapper is caught and then the person knows that you're going to face death penalty and not go from one court and then you're in prison. Death penalty, that's even the least for me, the least punishment, or yes, that should be meted
I will remember
on
that,
a kidnapper.
I will remember that during my program in Peace and Conflict Studies, we were given this assignment to write on whether death something that should be encouraged, whether it is potent in deterring, as a deterrence, deterrence for the crimes that they are prescribed for.
If not
and there were enough points for and against. But the issue is in the all and all the crimes for which death penalty has been applied, they have continued to live with us. So it shows that death penalty is not exclusive of itself in deterring crime. There's something you must know. There are people who got to the state at which they commit the crime they commit. They have taken on suicide mood. That is, they no longer care. Are you going to be threatening somebody who goes on suicide bombing? Are you going to be threatening that person with a death penalty? He has already he's already given up his life.
But kidnapping is not.
So I'm just giving you an example. So to what extent would death penalty be a solution to kidnapping? That is what we have to. So we don't just. I'm not condemning it. Neither am I supporting it outrightly.
What's your
what I'm saying is that it is, when you are making law, you look at its utilitarian value. Okay. Look at its utilitarian value, so that you will achieve, the law will achieve its purpose. So that is where, definitely in making such law, there's going to be what we call it, public hearing, experts. There are going to be experts input, and what I want to say that the way to go, the best way to go to reduce crime in society, because every crime is a product of the society in which it exists. You know, a crime cannot thrive where the condition for it to thrive does not exist. We have all, like I said earlier, we have always come out with economic blueprints. They are just blueprints to generate and spend money. But we have not done blueprint on how to reorganize our nation, our country, politically. The last time we tried to rejig the Nigerian political structure was in 2014, the National Conference. The National Conference. President Buhari and his people threw that thing away. Does it mean there were nothing? Does it mean that there were nothing? No recommendations, no resolutions of that national conference that was worthy of implementation and that Nigeria would benefit from.
All right.
I remember that in terms of political, there were far-reaching resolutions that were made there that would have changed the character of our electoral politics. See, let me tell you, all these things we're going nowhere if we don't rejig Nigeria politically. Today, winning an election in Nigeria is like striking an oil reserve or a gold mine, a gold reserve. Winning an election is a complete catastrophe and a calamity. Nations don't go. You can't develop like that.
Okay, let's take a break from Nigeria for a moment and travel to Guinea-Bissau. And the coup there, Jonathan, that's our former president, and others, as captured in this day, says ex-president Jonathan, others trapped in Guinea-Bissau as military announces coup.
You see, this is what is happening in the Sahel.
Okay, so the writer there says African leaders, including our former president, were on election observer mission, and ECOWAS says coup was peaceful, decries arrest of electoral officials. They were there, to observe the electoral process, and now they are.
I have worked with foreign election observers, and at the end of it, most of the time, I always ask myself, what are these things? What effect do they have on the electoral system? Most of the time, they just come to endorse what has happened. See, the ruling class are the ruling class everywhere. The ruling class are the ruling class everywhere. See, the outcome in your country is they are concerned to the extent that it aligns with their imperialistic interest in that country.
Okay.
So most of the time, these guys who carry out these things, they are status quo maintenance. So their mission and their rhetorics hardly reflect the reality on ground. So that is why they will be there, using the mainstream media to tell the world a different thing. And a different thing will be happening. Okay. And to the extent that you have this type of unconstitutional change of government.
All right, let's look at what happened exactly.
Okay.
On the 26th of November 2025, military officers in Guinea-Bissau declared that they had seized power just a day before the official results of a heated presidential election were due to be announced.
Yes.
So the results, they didn't announce the result. Now, the military suspended the electoral process, shut down land, air, and sea borders.
Yes.
And that's why our ex-president Jonathan and others are still trapped there.
Yes.
And imposed a curfew.
Yes.
Saying they formed a new ruling body named High Military Command for the Restoration of National Security and Public Order. Now, the country's president, Umaru Sissoco, confirmed that he had been deposed.
Yeah.
So, why it happened, the elections had been held on the 23rd of November 2025, both presidential and legislative. Now, the vote was contentious. Both Embalo and his main challenger, Fernando, declared victory. Now, gunfire was reported near major government and election buildings, Presidential Palace, Electoral Commission, Interior Ministry, earlier on the day of the coup, highlighting serious instability and fear of violence. Now, the military justified the takeover as necessary to prevent electoral fraud and to restore order. Well, and I don't know how coup works, but if this is what, I mean, no government will welcome coup. There was a perceived coup, and that was why the military, the heads of service chiefs, the head of the, all of them, both the defense and the army head, all of them were changed in Nigeria recently. Now, with what is happening in Guinea-Bissau, and the army saying that, look, we took over because of what's happening, the insecurity, the violence. They wanted to restore order and prevent electoral fraud. Is that not a good reason?
Fine. to the extent that is the real reason is left for them. This is, of course, military coup is a rebellion. It's a form of rebellion
against
constituted authority. Of course, to be a rebel, it means you are standing against, rising up against, or especially in arms, against a legitimate constituted authority. Okay, so even these people now, these military guys that have taken over, they will do anything to suppress anybody who wants to topple themselves. So that is to show you to the extent that nobody openly welcomes a coup or such rebellion.
Okay. But how about fixing?
But living in human experience, what brings about rebellion? What brings about rebellion? So, more often than not, when people, especially those who have tasted power, want to remain in power, they are lost in the hubris of power struggle, and they now act as if there are no rules, that they themselves have become the rules. You know, African elections across the African continent has been nothing to write about. Our journey in electoral politics has been a journey in unbridled impunity, in rigging elections, in subverting the will of the people. So there can be nothing more a causal factor, underlying factors for rebellion against the system, other than the attitude of those who manage the system. Right. So yes, African leaders will organize, and rebels don't play by the book in the first place. Rebels don't play by the book. So like Andrew Lodge will say, they don't believe that you will use the master's instrument to dismantle the master's castle. They don't believe. That is why they are. That is why they are rebels. You know, but a revolutionary is a rebel when he strikes and fails. When he strikes and comes victorious, he becomes a hero. Because you who said you are there, you become his casualty. You know. So, and even the counterfactually, the realization. They said there's this author that says that in politics, in hardball politics, the decent behavior you get from the opponent is not because of his sense of decency. It is because of his awareness of your capacity for reprisal. You know, your capacity for reprisal. That is what censors him. You know, so most of the time, when people who rule as demagogues and extremists, without tolerance and forbearance, when they remember, I wish all of them will always remember that it is such attitudes that breeds the rebellion.
All right.
Every system, history has taught us, from the revolt of the slaves, from the anti-colonial struggles, from Bolivia to Latin America, to even in America and elsewhere in the world, every system carries the seed within it, the seeds of its redemption. It may be now or later, but it will definitely happen.
All right, we pray it doesn't happen in Nigeria. We'll fix the country ourselves.
Me, I'm not among those that pray it doesn't happen.
Oh, okay.
I pray that we realize it and begin to do things that we put all those things outside of our calculation. That is my prayer.
But my prayer
I cannot pray that we continue in the way we are managing things, and this natural backlash, this natural consequence, because it is that is a wishful prayer. My prayer is that we have a system. We realize that we are better off building the system together. We are better off acting with tolerance, acting with forbearance. We are better off playing by the rules. We are better off submitting ourselves to the rule of law. Let know people for see, if power. There are many. Let us look back, because sometimes we look collectively at historical. Let us look back. There are people who wielded power between 1999 and 2007. They have faded away. Some have died, some are alive, but have been they are now politically displaced persons.
Politically displaced, PDP.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Some of them are politically displaced persons, politically displaced individuals.
Okay, PDI is better.
We're even saying, even in 2015, there are people who were part of the 207 to 215 who lost out. They are not dead, they are still alive, but they have become irrelevant in the system. There are people who just left the system in 2023, who were part of the 2015 to 2023, who have lost out, that they have snowballed into irrelevance. That shows you the transcendent nature
of power. All right, I think that's the best place, best way to drop this conversation. Thank you so much for your great analysis, Professor Bonnie Akeze. As always, thank you for coming. All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Owo soup has its roots in the indigenous communities of the Niger Delta who heavily depend on palm oil, seafood, and farm crops. The easy availability of palm fruits, fresh or dried fish, crayfish, and native seasonings led to the creation of a meal that was not just satisfying but culturally symbolic. Preparation usually begins with boiling assorted meats of choice, hinds and skin locally called bomo, and fresh fish until tender. A generous quantity of palm oil is then mixed with soaked gari to form a thick base. After this, potash, known as akau or starchy slurry, is gently stirred in to achieve the smooth and glossy finish that defines owo soup. Seasoning, ground pepper, crayfish, and sometimes smoked fish or periwinkle are added to deepen the flavor.
Beautiful delicacy, Urhobo delicacy. I take it. It's a common food among the Urhobos, the Isokos, the Shekiris, and Ijos. You must not cover it. If you cover it, the whole thickness will become watery. So when you are allowed to cook to some level where your protein will now have taste with the soup together, your Urhobo soup is ready. So you can either eat it with eba, for those who like eba, or eat it with starch, or with black plantain, or yam.
While the Urhobo and Isoko people mostly serve owo soup with starch, other ethnic groups enjoy it with eba, fufu, semovita, or pounded yam. Some homes prefer a lighter, watery consistency. Others enjoy it thick and creamy, yet each version remains deeply delicious. Nutritionally, owo soup is rich in healthy fats from palm oil, which supplies vitamin A, important for good eyesight and boosting immunity. It also contains vitamin C, which strengthens the body's defense system, while the fish and meats components add protein, essential for growth, building muscles, and repairing tissues. In essence, every spoon of owo soup carries both pleasure and nourishment. Beyond nutrition, owo soup holds deep cultural significance. It is commonly shared during festive seasons, traditional ceremonies, and family gatherings. For many Delta homes, serving owo soup is considered an honor to visitors, a symbol of affection, hospitality, and unity.
Owo soup is one of the most interesting African dishes I've ever had or tasted in my life. I love taking it with starch. It is very, very amazing. I mean, the Urhobo people, I don't know who came up with that soup, but it's so fantastic and it's so lovely. And anytime I see owo soup, my jaw drops.
Altogether, owo soup remains more than just a delicacy. It is a heritage in a bowl, a taste of identity, and a proud representation of the rich culinary culture of Delta State. Favor Okafor, reporting.
The joy of Christmas is in the air. We, the board, management and staff of Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS Asaba, warmly invite you to our festival of 9 lessons and carols.
An enchanting evening of festive hymns, soul-lifting music, drama, and warm cheer as we gather to celebrate the true gift of Christmas.
Join us as the prestigious DBS Asaba Celebratory Choir, alongside other choirs and guest music ministers, bring you timeless carols, heartwarming messages, and the spirit of the season.
Expect a magical blend of music, reflection, and joy that will uplift your heart and renew the hope of Christmas.
Come dressed in your best as we reflect on the season and spread the joy of Christmas.
Date, Thursday, 27th November 2025.
Venue, Emmanuel the Savior Catholic Church, GRA Asaba. Time, 4 p.m.
DBS Asaba Festival of 9 Lessons and Carols.
Come, let's make memories and amplify the joy of Christmas together. Signed, Management.
For Borewari government, they do numerous projects. And they still they go on to they approve new projects. And they not still they borrow money. Think
No be lie. Delta government just approve projects worth 230 billion.
Governor Borewari understand say when good road network dey, it help the economy to dey robust. Even individual businesses could thrive. Both transportations.
I hear say Governor Borewari don approve Agbo flyover 59 billion.
Yes, I hear.
And flyover for Eli Patani Highway for Otowodo Junction. Also, Sapele Dual Carriage 35 billion.
Yes, I dey aware.
Wait till Oga Friday. I hear say all these road constructions where they go on for Delta State now across the 3 senatorial districts.
Now everywhere. Why you ask?
I hear say Governor Sheriff they do road for Isoko Nation.
Governor Sharif, they do numerous roads there. Don't forget say Governor Sharif don't complete Emefo Road phase 1. As for the talk, so phase 2 dey in progress. Governor Sharif don't do Utekpo Road for Elu. Also for that Elu, construction of Arada Road still dey in progress. Governor Sharif they do road for Emede. He still they do for Olomo Road, Igide Road. Also 3 internal roads for Ideheze community. Construction of bridge dey in progress for Asaba Asa. And this Asaba Asa bridge, when it dey completed, it will connect Uzere for Isoko South to Asaba Asa for Lopan East.
Don't do. Governor Sharif more agenda. Nari matter. Governor Sharif came prepared to govern with excellence. Brought to you by Delta State Ministry of Information. Oborewori government, they do numerous projects. And it still they go on to they approve new projects. And it not still they borrow money. Think am.
No be lie. Delta government just approve projects worth 230 billion.
Governor Oborewori understand say when good road network dey, it dey help the economy to dey robust. Even individual businesses go dey thrive.